Pain and suffering are always inevitable for a large intelligence and a deep heart. The really great men must, I think, have great sadness on earth. Right or wrong, it's very pleasant to break something from time to time. I can see the sun, but even if I cannot see the sun, I know that it exists. And to know that the sun is there, that is living. To love someone means to see them as God intended them. Nothing in this world is harder than speaking the truth, nothing easier than flattery. Much unhappiness has come into the world because of bewilderment and things left unsaid. Taking a new step, uttering a new word, is what people fear most. The mystery of human existence lies not in just staying alive, but in finding something to live for. It takes something more than intelligence to act intelligently. We sometimes encounter people, even perfect strangers, who begin to interest us at first sight, somehow suddenly, all at once, before a word has been spoken. "I love mankind," he said, "but I find to my amazement that the more I love mankind as a whole, the less I love man in particular. The soul is healed by being with children. Man only likes to count his troubles, he doesn't calculate his happiness. I say let the world go to hell, but I should always have my tea. What is hell? I maintain that it is the suffering of being unable to love. To go wrong in one's own way is better than to go right in someone else's. This is my last message to you. In sorrow, seek happiness. The man who has a conscience suffers whilst acknowledging his sin. That is his punishment. A beast can never be as cruel as a human being, so artistically, so picturesquely cruel. Killing myself was a matter of such indifference to me that I felt like waiting for a moment when it would make some difference. If you want to overcome the whole world, overcome yourself. You will burn and you will burn out, you will be healed and come back again. The cleverest of all, in my opinion, is the man who calls himself a fool at least once a month. I did not bow down to you, I bowed down to all the suffering of humanity. Love in action is a harsh and dreadful thing compared to love in dreams. When reason fails, the devil helps. Nothing is easier than to denounce the evildoer, nothing is more difficult than to understand him. Besides, nowadays, almost all capable people are terribly afraid of being ridiculous, and are miserable because of it. This is my last message to you. In sorrow, seek happiness. It is better to be unhappy and know the worst, than to be happy in a fool's paradise. I think the devil doesn't exist, but man has created him. He has created him in his own image and likeness. Pain and suffering are always inevitable for a large intelligence and a deep heart. The greatest happiness is to know the source of unhappiness. The fear of appearances is the first symptom of impotence. Power is given only to him who dares to stoop and take it. One must have the courage to dare. Grown-up people do not know that a child can give exceedingly good advice even in the most difficult case. Destroy my desires, eradicate my ideals, show me something better, and I will follow you. The degree of civilization in a society can be judged by entering its prisons. I used to imagine adventures for myself. I invented a life, so that I could at least exist somehow. A fool with a heart and no sense is just as unhappy as a fool with sense and no heart. Man has it all in his hands, and it all slips through his fingers from sheer cowardice. Truly great men must, I think, experience great sorrow on the earth.